leader, riding regal, tipping scales like Libras. Inhale, no G's, we out west with it, where we live illegal. Leaning off a leader, riding regal, tipping scales like Libras. Inhale, no L's, pulling out blocks like Jenga. In the rear of a Caprice's Billy Rams, feel it decent nonetheless. Nothing less than 10s for the speakers. You'll hear us before you see us with beats that beat the streets up. Yeah. So try and keep up and keep it low key, cuz police try and treat us and keep us on a leash, cuz that's how they see us, thinking we nuts. Cuz we'll die for the ground beneath us, because this land made us. This land made of players that stay on paper. That's how we came up amongst the mayhem to the day when we display what we made of. The game can never change us, the West Side teachers. On these streets where you find that D before G. We out west with it, back down, trying to flip a dollar. If you looking, then we got it, you just gotta build a plot. We out west with it, riding clean, wetter than the sea. On the scene with a full tank, blowing AC. We out west with it, I'm posted, let me know what y'all on. Cause if y'all get on something, then just hit my phone. We out west with it, yes sir. Hustle for every penny in the trenches, but we turn struggle into strength. Smell the grind in the air, take a whiff. Only the nose knows the aroma. Compose the money rolls that fold up, holding cold cups. Searching for those that got the purple O's for the $4. And we can go nuts and stay at the stove like grocers, and post up with O's on the table like coasters. That's how the game coached us, made us all in the soldiers. Now that dough is the focus, so know that we own this. Molded by the hood role models, riding good, the latest model, drinking good, raising bottles like we just missed a pothole. You got to know that it's impossible to stop our flow. We've seen it all from watching cops reload 30s a dro while drinking the night away until the block got slow. You'll know as soon as you see us, we the ones laid back in the cut. My demeanor seems to always get me up. We out west with it, back down, trying to flip a dollar. If you looking, then we got it, you just gotta build a plot. We out west with it, riding clean, wetter than the sea. On the scene with a full tank, blowing AC. We out west with it, I'm posted, let me know what y'all on. Cause if y'all get on something, then just hit my phone. We out west with it, yes sir. Hustle for every penny in the trenches, but we turn struggle into strength. Yeah, home of the survivor, survival of the fittest in the town. It's wicked, you can J down in a minute. What am? What's the business? The biz is how you down and get it. From Cape Town to Fifth City, the sounds of Fifth's empty. When we tipsy is risky, where the lick be at least 10 deep. It tempts me, but there's no mystery. Where the chips be, the tips G. Just our history from the 60s. Pimpin' ain't easy, but we bleed it. This here game is in our veins, in the air we breathe in. Believe this, it's no game, but the key is your mouthpiece, spit your game. But believe, turn nothing into something. We suffer without supper long enough. Struggling from summer to summer, the same place where the dope is sold. It's home to the Oprah show, the same place I know is home. We out west with it, back down, trying to flip a dollar. If you looking, then we got it, you just gotta build a plot. We out west with it, riding clean, wetter than the sea. On the scene with a full tank, blowing AC. We out west with it, I'm posted, let me know what y'all on. Cause if y'all get on something, then just hit my phone. We out west with it, yes sir. Hustle for every penny in the trenches, but we turn struggle into...
Take notice, Entourage DJs are taking over the game. The Midwest invasion is here, and the true Midwest mixtape king is giving it to you. It's DJ G-Spot banging your mixtapes right now.
You are now listening to the mixtape. DJ G-Spot and Mix Loop, Chi-Town's finest. Definitely representing South Side, West Side, stand up.
Yeah, they honor my persona. See my coat of arms, cloaked in armor. Live and die by the code of honor. The honorable, known as Mick the Conqueror. My mantra is that of a monster. My vengeance is endless until you extinct like a condor. What you think I was armed for? I'm knocking at harm's door. Molded by the force, call me the Black Mamba. I'm putting up numbers like Kobe in the garden. My thoughts is thoughtless as I talk shit, and there's nothing as heartless as my heart spot. Deeper than the darkness that dwells where the sharks live. You sleeping with the fishes, but surfing with the marlins. On the surface, I'll unleash the carnage till you surf, till you starving, searching for a market. I'm the pit boss, tally up your losses. Your fate is sealed way before the card flips. You marks ain't shit. Topic of discussion, they ain't talking about nothing. Keep their noses in the sump, y'all ain't talking about shit. I hear them wolfing in the whispers, snakes in the grass. We ain't thinking about your ass, y'all ain't talking about shit. Fucking lying, I ain't buying, ain't nobody even trying to hear that dumb shit you kicking. Y'all ain't talking about shit. Find yourself some business, get yourself a life, and skedaddle, motherfucker. Y'all ain't talking about shit. Unlike like the players. Y'all engage in betrayal, so brave, do anything for the day they can slay you. So devious, even if you can't even see the hate. I don't need to plead my case till you please. I seize the day. Feast off your mistakes from the cleanest of plates. Palette of a pharaoh, all season. Perfection, at least 3 in my face. Fanning me with feathers, tease me with grace. I can't conceive defeat, nor will I concede the race to these conceited lames that can't believe my pace. So intrigued by my intrigue and display that intrigues the brain, there's nothing left to say. Hands down, I lure them to attack like cash. It's the allure of a champion with my banner in the rafters. Topic of discussion, they ain't talking about nothing. Keep their noses in the sun, y'all ain't talking about shit. I hear them wolfing in the whispers, snakes in the grass. We ain't thinking about your ass, y'all ain't talking about shit. Fucking lying, I ain't buying, ain't nobody even trying to hear that dumb shit you kicking. Y'all ain't talking about shit. Find yourself some business, get yourself a life and sit down, motherfucker. Y'all ain't talking about shit.
What up, man? You know what I'm saying? So I be telling these niggas, man, shit ain't the game, man. Shit
Tell 'em,
real.
done.
With the power, don't give it with the power, don't give it with the power. Don't give it into with the power, don't give it with the head up above. Like me, don't give it with the power, don't give it with the power, don't give it with the power. Don't give it with the power. Don't give it with the head up above. Don't give it with the power. Don't give it into with the power. Don't give it into with the power. Don't give it with the power. Don't give it with the head up above. Like me, don't give it with the power. Don't give it with the power. Don't give it with the power. Don't give it into with the power. Don't give it with the head up above. Like me, don't give it into with the power. Don't give it into with the power. Don't give it into with the power. Don't give it with the power. Don't give it with the head up above. Like me.
A1.
Just wait and see. Someday we'll all make it. Someday we'll
Yes, sir, I like how that sound right there, man. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's kind of inspirational. It's like everybody got a goal. They're trying to reach your life. They're trying to live, man. There's be bumps in the road. You gotta keep pushing forward. You know what I'm saying? If it don't kill you, it make you strong. You know what I'm saying? My story right here. Yeah, it takes a special kind of mind to grind and work from the bottom and climb up the ladder of success in time. It doesn't matter what the test is, every step is another level till I step in. That's the next in line, no question. I'm considered one of the best. My whole life invested in holding mics and sketching rhymes. You guessed it. I'm on mine, still restless. Yes, even pressed up my records on my own dime. As many battles I blew breath in and open mics I blessed. I never be labeled an overnight success. Passing out CDs, doing shows for free, then dabbing Bo to E so that my soul could speak over these soulful beats that's so cold to me. Like the breeze in the shower, we be posted deep. All the prices that I paid and sacrifices I made, it'll all come to life one day, someday.
Wait and see. Someday we'll all make it. Someday we'll all. Just wait and see.
Said just be patient, man. Bumps the road ain't nothing. Rotate, doesn't stop. Check it out. Look, I remember it like yesterday, trying to get my record played at a radio station where they play hits for days. Having a conversation with this lady I'm facing while she making a statement made for me. She said, look, it's too many words in your hook. You need to work on your look. For what it's worth, I never took her words personal. But at first I wasn't certain though if she knew my words are personal and not just verses and books until the curtain closes. This is my version of what I know, learning in first person till I blow, and still I know how it feels to know I'm the deal. Did you still feel like a deal is just right, or a deal just might still add to my appeal? But they won't know I'm real till I touch my first million, right? I'ma chill till my bars is felt and play my hand with the cards I'm dealt, and that's the plan till it's solved itself. Someday, we'll all make it for me. Yeah, everything you want this world is yours. All you gotta do is claim it, man. Be patient, work hard, man. Make it. Yo, it's damn near impossible to shop music without lots of loot to maneuver and make moves with. So I stay in tune with my pursuit. Fuck trying to recoup, I'm trying to juke and move units. The truth is, I'm used to excuses. Dudes give like you can. Do what I do, food and prove it. Walk in my shoes then. I'm used to goofy producers and cools that try to misuse you quick. Why you got it confused? If you think it's about groupie chicks and interviews in a mix, it ain't got goody, but I truly got the tools to overcome obstacles, including this music biz. I'ma shine like jewels, unlike these Rubik's Cube dudes with all this woo-woo-woo when they spit. Mick Luda is the future, so get used to this. It's day one, not a crew or clique. It's a new beginning. Wait and see, someday, we'll all make it for me. We'll all just wait and see. Someday, we'll all make it for me. We'll all just wait and see.
We all remember our life before COVID-19. The parades, the lakefront barbecues, taste of Chicago, the happy hours, and most importantly, loving those unforgettable moments with our friends and families. Getting Chicago vaccinated is what will make the activities we miss safe for everyone. So let's get back to it, Chicago. Let's come together to end this pandemic. Find your vaccine at chi.gov/COVIDvax.
City like the Hawk do, Black Hawk adjustable, keeps my mind thoughtful. Ain't no middleman, I'm the one you need to talk to. If you want a chance, I suggest you make an offer. Making an advance off a hoop, nah, you lost, fool. That type of talk, turn you dogs into dog food. Goofy, you a goof. Get your ass out, move. Acting like a woof. You softer than a poop do. Ain't no 50-50, both your options is a lose-lose. I ain't got no love though, laughing while you boo-hoo. I care not for teardrops, the pity that consumes you. Pitiful piece of shit, that's how them dudes do. 415s, fuck around and knock the screws loose. This flow is schizo, your boy gone cuckoo. Yeah, I flew the coop too, you knew I had to get loose. Gun smokes the network, plug you in my Bluetooth. How can I shine if I don't try? If this is really mine, then why must I? Search for why it's so hard to find. What I'm looking for, I stay in it, I'm on my shit. I can't stop winning, no, I can't quit. Till I make it to the top, till we make the top of the list. Give me my spot, fully aware, living life to the fullest. I'm full of myself. Yes, I earn the right for me to pull it like triggers that trigger bullets. I bully the beat, take dimes from bass lines, snatch fails from snares, smack temples on cymbals, hi-hats beware. It sounds so simple, sounded so clear, so real like Real Madrid. I do it for kicks, yeah. Them scary cats are scarier than scared. Make a pioneer near the top of the tier. On my square times 2, and I ain't leaving till it's square. With a flair so debonair, debutantes gotta stare. Cause I flaunt without a care, carefully with the air of an heir to the throne. All alone in the chair, in my lair where I lay up, laying another gem. Invisible man, then I reappear. Raise your glass, make a toast, cheers. How can I shine if I don't try? If this is really mine, then why must I search far and wide? It's so hard to find what I'm looking for. I stay in it, I'm on my shit. I can't stop winning, no, I can't quit till I make it to the top. Till we make the top of the list. Give me my spot. Yeah, hey yo, it's crazy how life is a stage. Basically, I was raised in these mazes, named the streets for players of reputations. Faithfully make G's with more cake pastries than bakeries. Deal with equations ranging from A to Z. Touch more bricks than masons, serving like maitre d's. Pitching like we in the major leagues. Occasionally blazing bees, seeking that painful peace amongst a parade of fiends afraid to sleep. Dazed and deranged, using days of Z's. That's why my old girl prayed for me every day, cause I'm faded like tapers at the table. Shit, I can't take it, I can't wait to escape and leave, cause this basement is no place to stay for me. But I believe I'm the creator, I create the scenes that can't be seen just by the way I think and breathe. Time and the place in this game of life when you gotta decide your fate or pay the price. Let the voice inside you guide you. My main advice is to change your life, just change your life. There comes a time and a place in this game of life when you gotta decide your fate or pay the price. Let the voice inside you guide you. My main advice is to change your life, just change your life. In high school, she was average, mostly C's and D's. Same shit, now she high too, mostly off C and D. Now I have my loot clothes, CDs and DVDs. Easily these things could leave, cause she a sneaky thief, trust me. Always fussing, starting shit, I hear her. Arguments with the mirror regarding her appearance, her health declines thusly. First her mind, then abruptly she finds herself mumbling all the time to herself, trying to find herself by dealers that sell. Insecure, still in a shell, killing herself. And as long as she been blowing, it never seems to soak in. When she has devotion, shivering like she cold. And my cousins ask me where they moms be. I'ma tell her my auntie on the concrete, walking dead like zombies. Time and a place in this game of life when you gotta decide your fate or pay the price. Let the voice inside you guide you. My main advice is to change your life, just change your life. There comes a time and a place in this game of life when you gotta decide your fate or pay the price. Let the voice inside you guide you. My main advice is to change your life, just change your life. I've been debating on rearranging my life. I'm at a different stage of the game in my life. This is why I listen when I'm praying at night for answers to the questions that I'm stressing to fight. Lord knows the fortune is a goal, but I'm not forcing my soul to be sold between the forks in the road in order to blow. What can I leave beside my corpse when I'm gone? And my CDs with assortments of songs. The course I chose to school me was these cruel streets, and it used to fool me till I learned how to do me. Take a look, see at how the hood eat, misunderstood by crooks, thieves, good green and cooks. See, I'ma tell you how it should be. The great leaders empower the people so they can see through the powers that be. But instead they carry on like cowards to me, abuse their power to speak while these streets devour the weed. I was told that the soul creates and the mind reacts. I chose my fate, ain't no rewinding me back. Every day's a gift from God, that's why it's called a present. If you believe, you receive and see all the blessings. Comes a time and a place in this game of life when you gotta decide your fate or pay the price. Let the voice inside you guide you. My main advice is to change your life, just change your life. There comes a time and a place in this game of life when you gotta decide your fate or pay the price. Let the voice inside you guide you. My main advice is to change your life, just change your life.
Monkey, keep it funky, aight? Monkey, keep it funky, aight?
We all remember our life before COVID-19. The parades, the lakefront barbecues, taste of Chicago, the happy hours, and most importantly, loving those unforgettable moments with our friends and families. Getting Chicago vaccinated is what will make the activities we miss safe for everyone. So let's get back to it, Chicago. Let's come together to end this pandemic. Find your vaccine at chi.gov/COVIDvax.
First things first, what is a man and a woman? What is a husband and wife? Once you find that out and learn what a man is supposed to be and what a woman is supposed to be, that's what they don't want you to get back to. When you learn that, then the black community rises.
to the traffic jam.
Other rappers pink, I'm the Black Panther. Spit sick, illmatic, bring black cancer. Black music, black stanzas, black stripes, black Mirandas. Kick game like the Fab Five in the black socks. 2 fingers in the air, peace to my black ops. Middle fingers rose to those who want black slop. Fuck white cops as well as black cops. Check out, life's a gamble. White and black dice, fever ain't up in the jungle, not the white and black type. Black man cannon only have black wives. Unless you want a genocide, all black life. Make black queens, make more black kings. Made man for science, make more black things. Stop the black on black and black on brown. Roll up that now, put out that black and male. Put your hands up whenever black get down. It's a pack house whenever black in town. I'ma get it in, watch me black out. Black out, black out, black out, black out. Yeah, put your hands up whenever black get down. It's a pack house whenever black in town. I'ma get it in, watch me black out. Black out, black out, black out, black out. Yeah, back to the Renaissance, this black art. Nigga, the roots, black thought. The black pack came, a black hope. Black power won, whenever black vote. Thou shall not back talk to the black god. Choose a drop worth more than a black card. Do what I want, when I want, can't be black ball. Do it for my people, do it for the black cause. Master of ceremonies, never be black slaves. What help feel many more black graves. To the white race, blacks pray. To white Jesus, too many blacks pray. Overstand a strong man, black man. The laws of the land is a lose black's plan. Stop the black on black and black on brown. Roll up that now, put out that black and mouth. I'm saying put your hands up whenever black get down. It's a pack house whenever black in town. I'ma get it in, watch me black out. Black out, black out, black out, black out. Nigga, put your hands up whenever black get down. It's a pack house whenever black in town. I'ma get it in, watch me black out. Black out, black out, black out, black out.
My brothers and sisters. My brothers and sisters. Yeah. No bullshit at the pulpit with questions for the reverend. Like, why I gotta die to go to heaven? Or are these lies and deception a sign of what's next? To deny my progression to my soul through my spirit from my mind and my flesh. You be hard pressed to alter my perspective. It's reflective of my perception. All the lives and the tribes that's affected, dying quick, effects from environments neglected. Disconnected, disrespected, this the same section we never invest in. Our own sales from our own shells, become owners on our own, then get on with our own help. Yeah, creators of our own world, communicate, we accumulated our own wealth. Created in this image, so when I say it, I meant it. Do the science for yourself. My brothers and sisters, we ain't niggas and bitches. My brothers and sisters, we ain't niggas and bitches. Can you dig that though? And I put this on my mama, Black Madonna, Mother Earth, Mother Africa. I'm honored to be a part of where it started, selling Starburn through the stars, stardust on my starship. My heartbeat is godly. I'm the light harnessed from the darkest part of darkness. Such a godsend. I teach my son to treat your daughter like a goddess. I teach my daughter to treat your son like a god king. I can never deny my fate. My melanated skin tells my story every day. Fortunately, my fortune awaits. Majority of the world, minority in the States. Yeah, we blossom from the concrete. The world copies what they see, then mocks my mystique. The possibilities impossible to see. The ways of Western man can match the prophets of the East. My brothers and sisters, we ain't niggas and bitches. My brothers and sisters, we ain't niggas and bitches. Young brother, young king, you're a genius. Young sister, young queen, supreme beings. See you supreme. All you have to do is believe it. All you gotta do is believe it. Young brother, young king, you're a genius. Young sister, young queen, supreme beings. All you gotta do is believe it.
Y'all niggas, and you gon' be niggas forever, just like us, niggas. You're not niggas.
We all remember our life before COVID-19. The parades, the lakefront barbecues, taste of Chicago, the happy hours, and most importantly, loving those unforgettable moments with our friends and families. Getting Chicago vaccinated is what will make the activities we miss safe for everyone. So let's get back to it, Chicago. Let's come together to end this pandemic. Find your vaccine at chi.gov/COVIDvax.
This is a traffic jam.
It might listen to radio, it might turn on TV, it might listen to music. Old school, new school, rap, hip hop, whatever it is. It has a beat and a cadence, and you can pick it up on radio waves, TV waves, whatever you want. You can pick up this sound, and you dive.
Tell me this ain't rap. Yeah. This ain't rap. Just discussing the facts. True that. Check it. Look. This ain't rap. Just discussing the facts. Too many of us down where the fuck I'm at. Niggas so far gone that they can't come back. Got cut with buck 50s or bust from the gap. Just another body done on the map. Just another statistic. Just another stat. Just another color. Just another black. Just another brother under. Understand that? Nah, not really, but it seems I'm being forced. Growing up in the G, seen it from the front porch. He's being scorched, peeps reaching for the torch. Next day we being caught like a child needs support. Can I get away, midway airport? Days like this, wish I was in the Air Force. How dare beat the devil, can't dare be cold. Don't need to write it down, just share me those. This ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. Just discussing the facts. Too many of us down where the fuck I'm at. This ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. Just discussing the facts. Look, check it. This ain't rap. Just kicking the actuals. Revolutionized rebel, I'm a radical. Before you, after you. BCAC attitude. Do what I wanna do after what I had to do. Cops telling me to freeze cause they ain't half as cool. Man, it's a weapon, you don't have to blast the tube. Shorties lack knowledge, they had bad schools. Ain't have a penny for they thoughts, had bad food. Saying no drugs as if it's from Baton Rouge. Yet I smoke good, stay out of bad moods. Hopefully the good does outweigh the bad news. Don't shoot the messenger, return the sender. God's been in you since you into my placenta. Listen to me, finna be a winner. Dictionary bars just saying what I meant to. This ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. Just discussing the facts. Too many of us down where the fuck I'm at. This ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. No, this ain't rap. Just discussing the facts. Too many of us down where the fuck I'm at. Yeah. Same rap. Voice speaks. Opinion. It's VSOP. Yeah. Still facts though. Real black though.
You think you're listening to one thing. And then under a track so deep, especially if you have melanin, because they know it's very sensitive to vibrations of all kinds, they'll put in a counter melody or something that you don't want to hear. And while you're tuned to that you think you are hearing, because it's on a frequency with this what they call the subatomic brain, or what I call again the inner brain, the mind brain, it's appealing to it. Now that's really tricky. We hit a hard expression you can. And the more relaxed you get with the one, the more you can now pick up the other one, which is now suddenly being broadcast.
This is a traffic jam, traffic jam.
I'm ready. I ain't fucking with them busters, I ain't fucking with them bluffing ass, nothing ass motherfuckers neither. So when you catch me at the show, this shit ain't just for show. So I gave my nigga Lou the Desert Eagle. Then it's right back on the grind. I hustle till I shine. I don't hear no fear, no evil. Make a 40 off a dime. Waiting some other time, but the people try to tell me it's illegal.
Admire my brother's keeper, hell nah. I dig ditches, put you bitches in a sleeper. When you see us, keep it moving like the meter. We off the meat. Meet me at the meeting to miss your beat while I'm riding off, smelling like Sunny D. Imperial like the pyramid. As I push the pen again, my experiences appearing Shakespearean. So passes with no interference when I send them in. If you mention him, then you mention in the syndicate. The inventor of that vintage lit. You know who get the busiest? Sawbucks, double nickel, 55th. Look, I'm a businessman. I can't let these busybodies hear me in. Hence, simply put, I put it in.
I'm Lillard, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
Hey, this is Jason Kidd, and we're rocking with the Bigs.
I'm Chris Bryant from the Chicago Cubs, and I'm rocking with the Bigs.
This is Mark Cuban, Dallas Mavericks.
WIIFTBP.
Live from What's in It for the Black Media Studio, you're listening to The Bigs with Eugene McIntosh and Terrence Tomlin.
Let's begin now.
They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs, it's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs, it's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size. It's the bigs, it's the bigs. They calling us the bigs, it's the bigs, it's the bigs, but not because our size.
And just like that, it is officially time to jump back down on the soil and get your sports fix from the illest independent sports media outlet in the whole territory, man. You are rocking with the Bigs. You know what it is. I'm your man T-Tom coming to you as usual. My brother Gino, what's going on, brother?
What's the word, brother? What's the Benowski?
It is all good, man. Chilling on this beautiful Friday. Getting ready for a little bit of afternoon Cubs baseball. Am I right?
Yeah, man, we going to make this one short and sweet today, man. I'm trying to get out of here about 12:30 so I can make my way to Wrigley Field, man. There may be some announcements coming soon. I don't know how soon.
Gino, though, what do you mean?
I mean, hey, brother.
Because right before I came in, they were talking about the Cubs lineup.
How it's been the last 2 days.
No Baez, no Bryant. And then I'm seeing, because I follow a bunch of Yankees fans. I went to school on the East Coast. A bunch of my college cats were from New York and are huge Yankees fans. I don't know why they're all saying the same thing, but what, Gino? I saw a couple of them talking about Anthony Rizzo, bro. and of course, I don't know what's going on Twitter. That's why I had to run it past you. But for some reason, they were saying that I guess in New York, the Yankees and the Cubs are talking about some players. You know what I mean? And I know you saw Jed Hoyer's comments yesterday. He spoke to the media.
Yeah, I was gonna get to that.
Go ahead. You see how I'm coming. It's cold red. I'm coming up here to kind of get calmed down. So Gino, take it away from me.
Well, yes, Jed met with the press yesterday. On-field access has been restored, allowed, whatever other words you want to use for it. But we are able to get back on the field now. And instead of having the pregame Zoom meetings, have y'all back on the field? Everybody, I think Major League Baseball.
But we are still doing the pregame Zooms.
Really?
100%.
Are y'all ain't in the dugout yet?
Mm-mm. Some players will speak in the dugout, but Tony La Russa is still doing the Zoom every day.
I guess I understand.
Yeah, like a couple of players will end up in the dugout, but yeah, Tony La Russa is there. I think he spoke. He was on the Zoom at like 8:40. Yeah, he was on there early yesterday. So yeah. It probably is coming to an end though.
But you guys are allowed field access.
We are allowed field access.
Right,
yes.
Right. So I think
at
that's
the crib.
I think that's league-wide. So now there's field access. As far as the Cubs go, there are the pregame, David Ross pregame talk is in the dugout.
It's in the
like
dugout
it used to
again.
be.
So
Yeah.
what about postgame?
Post-game is still Zoom because
Okay.
there's no clubhouse.
There's no
clubhouse.
no interview room
Yep,
access.
yep.
Okay.
So that's still Zoom, but, slowly but surely getting back to some type of normalcy. But, yeah, Jed, after Rossi, Jed, and Jed and Theo were always on the field when we were there in those past few years. Jed and Theo you would always see them around the park, on the field, mingling, at BP, checking the team out. And then Theo was always available to talk. Like,
Facts.
Theo loved to talk. So I feel like Jed, being around Theo all that time, he kind of soaked that
It
energy
rubbed
up.
off on him.
Yeah, so, and Jed is really good at speaking and
facts.
Not
openly.
Yeah, openly, not really holding back. There's certain things, obviously, that he's going to keep in-house, but most of the time he's bluntly honest. And yesterday, it was the same thing. And I'll read my post verbatim. So, yesterday, during the Bigs TV, our live game chats, I posted a lot of the comments. Well, some of the comments. There was a lot. Jed said a lot, but I just got down to the gist of it and the things that stuck out most to me. And so this is Jed Hoyer's meeting with us earlier this afternoon. And this is his quote. 11 days ago, we were certainly fully on the buy side of this transaction, and everyone was calling about that. And now, obviously, people are calling to see which players are available. Life comes at you fast.
Talk about open. Talk about speaking with no filter. That's a pretty transparent comment from your general manager. It's like now teams are calling to see who's available. We lost. They snapped it, but they lost 11 straight and then lost again yesterday,
12
right?
12 out of 13 now.
So that is as open as it gets.
Hold on, no. So that was that. So then, as far as the 11-game losing streak, we went through a 12-gamer in 2012 on a 101-loss team. And going through a losing streak like that with this much talent was certainly not something we anticipated, and obviously we're disappointed. There's nothing that says we can't roll off a bunch of wins here. We've done it. We were one of the best teams in baseball for a pretty long stretch, so we've certainly done it, and there's no reason to think we can't do it. But when you're in this moment and your playoff odds get into single digits at this time of the year, you have to keep one eye on the future and think about what moves you can potentially make that can help build the next great Cubs team. On that situation, on the next moves being labeled a rebuild. We're in a different situation now than we were in 2012. The decisions we're making, the processes we're going through are completely different. That label is certainly something to be avoided. We are going to have roster turnover. That was inevitable. This is certainly not a rebuild by any kind of definition that we'd be using from our past. My job is to make the best possible decision for the Cubs. Sometimes it's about the present. Sometimes that decision is about the future. I can't concern myself with what makes people mad. And that was as far as, the fans saying, being mad because, like we said, this is a team that's 5 years removed from a championship and ain't sniffed.
Had the same problems for years.
For 5 years.
Yeah.
And so he's basically saying, he can't really worry about what the fans think.
Is it anymore?
I mean, it was a lot more, but that was the basis of it. It was a lot, it was a lot of talk in between that, but that was the gist of the whole conversation, was about this being a rebuild, and about the losing streak, and about, them going from buyers to sellers.
The timing of the losing streak, bro, is just unbelievably bad. Yeah, I mean, Jed hit it on the head, man. As far as a few weeks ago, you're talking about the Cubs as one of the best teams in baseball. And I feel like this season is kind of weird because we've seen that from a few teams. We saw the Kansas City Royals on top for a while, and then they go on a 12-game losing streak. Other teams around the league have done the same, Gino. And the comment about having the single-digit playoff odds is what's sticking in my head right now, because I feel like as you approach the deadline, that's exactly what GMs are looking at. What are my chances of making the playoffs with my current roster? And the way the Cubs have lost these games, and I don't want to ramble.
Oh, go ahead.
It's just it's been that bad. Like the Cubs have sucked.
Do you know the Cubs have been outscored? What was the score last night? 8-0?
8-0.
So I think they've been outscored 91 to 35.
Yeah.
In that.
That's
in the 12 losses. They won the game before.
12 losses?
12 losses. Because remember, that 4 of the games were one-run losses. So when a lot of people, they were getting on David Ross because Rossi was basically saying, man, in a few of those games we didn't play bad baseball, which was true. They lost by 1 run.
The ball didn't bounce. Like they had to play a perfect game.
And Kyle Hendricks said that after his and that was really the first time I really heard Kyle, and he didn't get out of character
Kind
at
of
all.
frustrated though.
But yeah, it's like, man, it seems like now we just got to play a perfect game if we want to win. But when you think about it, they didn't play bad baseball, but but just on the basis of the sport of professional baseball, man, baseball is not like any. Well, obviously all sports are different, but I think baseball is the most nuanced of the top 3. I hate to leave the NHL out. Shout out to who won the
Tampa Bay Lightning,
the back-to-backs,
back-to-back,
right? And I don't mean to leave the NHL out because they have a superb fan base as well. But when we're talking about NBA, NFL, Major League Baseball, I think Major League Baseball is the most nuanced of all the sports. And it's a very cruel game. You know me, we start to sound like a broken record when you talk about
it must be understood though.
162 games in 184 days. We always talk about, especially when you at the plate, it's like you can barrel that thing up, get the best swing possible, hit it right at somebody, and you get it out. And the next time up, you can hit it off your hands, and
get a double,
and get a bloop double.
Yes.
So it's like that's the type of game this is. And man, these type of stretches happen. I'm pretty sure most of those guys on that team, this is probably the toughest stretch of their professional baseball career. But the only thing you can really do is not let it get the best of you. And I don't know. I've never been in a professional sports setting as a player, but at the end of the day, man, it's baseball. It's my saying.
Period.
Best thing you do is come back in less than 24 to do it again. And you come back looking for with some renewed energy and looking to win a baseball game. But this is a cruel game, and this is what the Cubs are facing right now, bro.
Man, Gino, you know what I'm doing over here while you're talking low key? I'm over here wondering who's to blame for this current stretch that the Cubs have been on. And real talk, only one name comes to mind, bro. And it's Jed Hoyer. You know what I mean? It's the fact that even though this team had a decent stretch of winning, they still came into this season basically anticipating the bottom falling out. You know what I mean? Like you said a couple of episodes ago, Gino, if it's I know the Cubs are horrible right now, but do you think they're not smiling over there in the Rickettsville headquarters?
Come on, man.
And for him to say that it's not a rebuild, I feel like he's hoping or thinking that we forgot that he got rid of Yu Darvish, that he already cut from the bottom. No more John Lester, no more Kyle Schwarber.
You traded your backup catcher.
And now you're probably staring at getting rid of somebody, if not a couple more people, and you don't want us to believe that this is a rebuild?
Stop it.
You know what I mean? And I feel like if he's going to, because now it's hitting me, it's like, damn, he just fluffed it up. Like, he fluffed it up.
You know our favorite word, man.
Yeah, I'm like, this man really just fluffed us up. And I'm like, okay, I'm looking at it. This team was built to have a stretch like this, Gino.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, this team was built to have a stretch like this, and honestly, it couldn't have come at a better time because now Jed gets to say, oh, we're not rebuilding. We've won before in the season, but now should we be worrying about Baez or Chris Bryant out of the lineup, or is this just David Ross getting a quick start on? Because I know they got one more series, but
well, you can look at it. I'm always the guy that's going to look at it from as many ways as I can.
Now let me say, I got to remind you, right now, I feel like the Cubs, they're doing a bunch of obvious stuff, like the writing is on the wall for a lot of things they do. We talked about Jake Arrieta and his options,
that day, and what happened as soon as we got out
right
of here.
hamstring, and this man didn't. Come on, bro.
What, he pulled his hamstring walking to his car after the game?
Walking out of David Russell's office to talk about, like you said.
Hey, Jake, man, you got a hamstring. I'm good. I'm good, Joe. No, Jake, you got a hamstring injury, bro.
I noticed something.
Right.
Yeah, Jake. And I feel like the sports world of Chicago was laughing. I mean, it's like the writing is on the wall with these cats, Gene. And I'm starting to revert back to how I felt before the season. It's like, okay, now
you was always on that.
Yeah, it's like Chris Bryant and who else? Like, who if it's not a rebuild, then I don't see you trading or getting rid of any of those guys. If you trade any of those guys, I don't want to hear that it's not a rebuild.
Right.
You know what I mean?
So how do you we look at we talk about Chris Bryant all the time, and in my opinion, I haven't had the chance to talk to Chris Bryant, but in my opinion, I think the business of baseball, his contract situation, his years of service, that whole situation.
Is he happy here?
I think that soured him. I think he's happy here because the fan, anybody from that 2016 team will be loved here forever.
Man, see now, Gino, and like you said, we talk a lot about Chris Bryant is because he was completely a Cub his whole career,
Right.
never been anywhere else.
Right.
We've seen him his whole professional baseball career, and he's not like the number one Cub in everybody's hearts. You know what I mean? I think that may kind of, even if, because it's nothing personal between him and Rizzo. But to the fans, it's like what Snoop said. Y'all don't love me,
Right.
Like y'all don't got love for Chris Bryant and KB.
Brizzo.
Let it be known then.
Brizzo.
I seen Johnette asked me because we saw the shirt. We were driving through Wrigleyville a few days ago, and then we saw the classic Brizzo campaign shirt, and she was like, "What was that?" I was like, "That was a Brizzo shirt. It's a classic Cubs shirt of the last few years." And she's like, "It looked like a campaign shirt." I was like, that was the thing behind it. Yeah,
it's like
Brizzo.
these two. It's like we talk about the Brandon Crawford and Buster Posey.
Oh yeah,
like
the
that's
tandem.
You feel like these two guys would be Cubs forever.
100%. And if I feel like Jed, now if he says he's still wrestling with that decision, I totally believe that. Like, I don't think his mind is made up. I don't think he knows what he's going to do. I think that from when I listen to and when I play those comments in my head again, Gino, I think he's kind of feeling the pressure that the time is approaching for him to make a decision. It's like, you sat on this for years, and now it's time, Jed. It's time, Jed.
So when you talk about Chris Bryant, again, you're talking about a guy he's only been a Cub. We've seen Chris Bryant from the essence. We saw him come up through the ranks real quick. We saw him win NL Rookie of the Year. We saw him win NL MVP.
Catch
we
fire.
saw him be one of the leaders of the 2016 team. We saw him, and I hate to use the word fall off because, again, this is baseball. If you don't know this game.
But he made the last out of the smiling as he throws the ball.
What the most lasting memory in Cubs history.
Come on, bro.
Is Chris Bryant slipping, throwing the ball to Rizzo, and then the next one, the poster we all got is this one. So
come on.
The Chris Bryant situation is tough, but again, I mean, I would love to see Chris Bryant stay in Chicago. He always talks about how much he loves Chicago, how much he loves the fan base. We know about Wrigley Field, how beautiful of a ballpark it is.
Man, it's beautiful.
It's like no other ball, but like the fans, it's just nothing like it. So I understand it from that point, but when I think about business, who his agent is, Scott Boras.
The businessman.
The businessman.
Come on, Joe.
Like, I understand.
Ain't no shortcuts. You know what I mean? Nah. You want them?
First off, the paper. We're going to talk about the payment. He's going to make an appearance in Denver next week for the All-Star game. So obviously his bag has gone up.
He does his part.
Yeah, so I'm gonna need my $2, and then we talk about when you're making an executive decision in the front office. You gotta, because also Jed, I didn't quote this, but Jed did say that he was gonna have a talk with the core players before the trade deadline. So I hopefully, somebody will get the drop on that. Jesse G, somebody, and we'll get the drop on that. But I mean, when you talk about that, it's like this: if you don't trade Chris Bryant and he becomes a free agent at the end of the year, and then he walks and goes somewhere else, then you get nothing in return. So I think that's the biggest factor when you're talking about Chris Bryant. Anthony Rizzo, again, this is a guy. He's other than Wilson Contreras, he's probably the longest tenured Cub. But this is a 31-year-old first baseman with a history of back issues. Now, again, you can re-sign him. Hopefully they can, if they want to come up, with a number in between what he wanted and what they wanted, maybe they can meet somewhere in the middle and sign him. And who knows about his career going forward, as far as, providing. But I do know for nostalgia purposes, like we talked about, you get a kid in the 2021 draft, and then in 2024 he finally, gets his call up, and now he's on the bench. And this is like, man, talking to Rizzo, like, man, I remember watching you when I was in 8th grade, winning the championship, and now we're on the same team. So they all have their purposes. They're all pros and cons. But if it was me, well, and again, this is above my pay grade and it's just my opinion, but I think Javier Baez is the mainstay. He's the youngest.
Has to, bruh.
He's marketable. He sells tickets.
He's probably the top 5 marketable athletes in baseball.
Right. He sells tickets.
You don't just let him go.
No,
man.
you can't.
Science.
You can't.
You just can't let him go.
Exactly.
So
that's where we are at this point. I think obviously Craig Kimbrell is going to be first on the list to go, probably the biggest move in all of baseball. But then you think about guys like Andrew Chafin, who's been very good. Yeah, it's like,
and he's just itching to be like a fan favorite on the World Series. You know what I mean?
Wherever.
I mess with Andrew Chafin.
Then you think about, Willie has another year left on his deal. But, you trade Willie, you don't have a catcher.
At all.
Like, now you bring Miguel Amaya up, who I guess he's not, It's just a lot of things going on. I heard them talking about Kyle Hendricks. It's like,
Yeah, Gino.
And Kyle Hendricks is very affordable.
Is that not what a rebuild is when everybody's available?
That's when you talking. When you letting go your ace.
Kyle Hendricks goes, bro.
Kyle Hendricks goes. I'm gonna have to look at them. I'm already looking at them funny. I'm already looking at ownership funny, even though I understand what's going on.
Yeah,
you got to rebuild the farm, and I understand all of that. But if you let my boy Kyle go, then I'm gonna really be looking at y'all funny, man.
I don't. That's what you said. He's not very expensive. I don't get why you would trade him then. I mean, if you can't like change your farm system with letting Kyle Hendricks go, he's much better as the ace of your staff. You know what I mean? So, but Gino, of course, I guess we finish it by saying stranger things have happened in sports, man.
Exactly.
It's just the fact that we've seen this coming for so long, and the Cubs have just let it come. You know what I mean? Basically, it was like, well, we'll cross that bridge when we get there.
So you said you blamed. So you looking at Jed and not the guys who hired him? Because Jed can only. He's the president.
I feel like when you look at how they've maneuvered, they knew that Jed. Jed was going to be in this position, or Theo was going to be gone. It would. I feel like if it's a secure spot. The securest guy in the organization right now is Jed Hoyer. You know what I mean? I feel like the way that the Ricketts have kind of dumped all of their decision making on him, like even publicly, you hear Todd Ricketts say stuff like, "Well, it's up to Jed on the futures of Rizzo, Bryant, and Baez and Contreras," and I'm like, damn. I'm like, it's all on Jed. I don't know about that. Yeah, exactly. It's like my name Bennett, I ain't in it.
That's a lie.
Holla at my boy. Yeah, so exactly, that's a lie. It's a lie, bruh. Which makes me feel like Jed, this is Jed's like monster. First thing he did was get rid of you Darvish.
So you're taking so you're taking it as what the Ricketts said. This ain't got nothing. All these decisions are on Jed. That's how you looking at it.
I don't know if that's how I'm looking at it, but I'm looking at it as he's the fall guy. Whether
no doubt.
Like he's the face of what's about to happen to the Cubs. You know what I mean? And if you look at it from the aspect of blame the players, I don't feel like they were given what they needed to be successful. You know, before the season started, like the stretch that they had where they were the number one team in the NL Central, and had a stretch where they were the best team in baseball. They were winning despite their flaws. You know what I mean? Like this wasn't the culmination of talent. This wasn't a culmination of like pieces being put together. This was everybody playing good at one time, and that's rare in baseball. You know what I mean? And now you got it like one or two guys playing good, everybody else is bad, and you've lost 12 out of 13.
Then you try to spin the narrative of, well, man, we missing Nico Horner, Matt Duffy, David Bodie, and Jake Marisnick.
All guys that ain't changing.
I'm like, bro, if y'all about to try to tell me that them guys are more important than KB
I seen
Rizzo.
Somebody talking about Jake Marisnick, and I was about to text you, bro.
Jake Marisnick is a very good dude. He's a very good player, but he's not making or breaking no damn baseball team.
They were talking about they need his speed, they need his defense. I'm like, all right, y'all. Like, if we're at this point in
y'all
the season,
y'all falling for the okie doke.
Completely. So, Gino, I'm not expecting like a nuclear kind of thing to go on with these guys, but
so let me read you a couple of comments.
You see as you did that, my hard drive. What?
Let me read you a couple of comments and get your opinion. So Chris Williams, he said, I feel like management told this team to tank. And I'm like, this is professional sports, man. It's hard to. I told him it's tough to get players to have that mindset. I don't think there's no way that my ownership or my president could tell me to come in my clubhouse if I'm a player.
No way.
And tell me to not give my best effort.
You got to understand professional athletes. It is completely different when you're losing. Okay? Like, and I'm going to just throw a Jose Abreu quote in there real quick because I think he just had the best Jose Abreu quote of all time. He got asked how he's able to play being so banged up. He's like, gee, when you're winning, you're just winning. There's nothing else but wins. No injuries, no manager coming at you. Like, all there is winning. Gee, imagine how terrible it has to be when it's the opposite.
And we've been in that Cubs clubhouse for 6 years, and they've been winning. So you know what the vibe is like in that clubhouse when they winning?
Yeah, like that. I don't know how you get through a 162 game season if you're not winning. Like, it's gonna feel like 362 games.
And 20 plus teams feel like that per year.
They're battling, like, checking out. They're like, right now, they like, I gotta get to the fucking park. Excuse me. We gotta get to the park. Oh God. You know what I mean? It's like, I gotta do this in less than 24. Come and get my head beat in again. No athlete is signing up for that.
I saw Jay Hay last night. I was leaving out the ballpark and I saw Jay Hay. And I was going, but then I was like, you know what?
You know what he's going through.
Yeah, but he'd have stopped but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna let him keep going, and because you could tell he was just Jay Hay is a super professional. He's always one of those guys, but you could just see like, man, this ain't what's up. And they all hear the rumors. Chris Bryant was asked about the rumors and just playing and going forward and he was like, man, it's the same thing I've been hearing for 3 years, man. I don't care no more. You know, so back to Chris Bryant, and we can, like you said, we can end this conversation because, you know, it's until we hear the rumblings going on.
But you know, I mean, imagine being another team in the league and seeing what's going on with the Cubs. I'm definitely calling Jed like, G.
Man, what's the move? What you need?
Can I
Farm?
get Rizzo and Kimbrel? Like, you know what I mean? Like, who else can I get with Kimbrel? Like, I'm sure Jed's phone is ringing off the hook.
Well, like you said, no Javi, obviously, and this is the thing. I mean, you can look at it how you want to look at it, but Javi's been bothered by this thumb issue for over a month now. So he said,
you know how those can be.
Yeah, he says a lot of the times, you know, when he hits the ball, you know, he can feel the jam in his thumb. So I don't think that's a let's hold Javi out and see what's available. But Chris Bryant, on the other hand, hey man, if I'm Jed and I'm ownership and I'm thinking about letting Chris Bryant go, I'm not putting Chris Bryant back on the field to get hurt.
He in one piece,
yeah, man, I might throw him back out there just to show like he good.
Yeah,
but other than that, if he's on my trade deadline block, he ain't seeing the field again. Maybe he'll see it All-Star break. I mean, on the All-Star game.
You're already holding your breath.
Yeah, but other than that,
game,
not on my team. If he's on the block, then he ain't seeing the field again. So
now, who's managing? It's Dave Roberts.
Dave Roberts.
He's probably calling Dave like, yeah, play him. One inning, though. You know what I mean? Like,
let him pinch hit.
Let him pinch hit. Get people what they want. Come on.
Let me see a couple more comments for you.
If I'm Dave Roberts, I'm like, he's gonna play center field, left field, right field, third.
Grant Houghton. Grant said, problem with KB is Boris. That's what led to his bad vibes, whether what the Cubs have done is right or wrong. And I told him, when I saw Scott Boras around the clubhouse more than once,
know what it is.
I knew what time it is. This guy's big business.
But see, now at the same time, the manipulation of the service time, I feel like is 100% on the Cubs because they didn't have to do it. You know what I mean? They didn't have to do that. You know what I mean? Like, you could have had good faith with Chris Bryant, negotiate with him, and he could have been locked up right now. Like, you trying to manipulate him so that he stays for the longest amount of time that he's like supposed to stay. And you know, as far as contracts and time go, of course, no player's gonna feel like they want to be out of place. It's like, if you want me, treat me like a human, G.
Right.
Don't treat me like a prospect when I'm out here winning World Series for, you know what I mean, making All-Stars and stuff. Come on.
It's a dirty game, bro.
Gee, remember the day, I remember seeing Chris Bryant when he came out of the dugout after he got his first check after arbitration and everything. And I remember seeing this, it looked like a weight was off his shoulder, but he was young. Like, he was back in that situation the next year. It's like, gee, y'all ran this man like confidence through the and they was asking him to play at top level. While behind the scenes, y'all are like folding your hands
low ball, right?
It's like, come on, bro.
And this is another year of that. It's like, this is like his third year of arbitration. It's like, look, man, are we gonna get this 200 done or not?
Like, it's like, gee, at this point, do I even want to be here?
There you go. So, who else? So Dave Bryant, what's up, Dave? Dave said they tied Theo's hands. Madden was a hell of a coach.
And, Gino, I meant to mention Joe Madden to you when we were talking about Ohtani last show, because I'm like, it's not a surprise to me that he's, like, in full flourish mode with a creative manager like Joe Madden just taking the trainer wheels off of him.
See, they say Ohtani ain't took BP once this year.
Dog, what? What? You see, he got 32 home runs.
They say the man ain't took... And I'm hoping they're talking about on field the BP that we see.
Exactly.
He's got to be swinging in the cages. And behind
32
the scenes.
32 home runs before the break with a series to go, G. And it's an all-star pitcher.
Yeah, shout out to Ohtani.
Yeah, just like.
But that's a great point that you make about Joe Madden allowing him to flourish and be the guy who he is supposed to be.
Yeah, look at his guys back in Wrigley, bruh, crumbling, man. Javi.
Like Dave said, that's why Theo got out the jam. He left that $10 million behind.
Man.
And said, man, use this for whatever y'all want to use it for. Y'all done fired you, Darvish. Y'all done fired Caratini. Y'all done fired Schwarber.
Yes.
Y'all done hired Jake. Y'all done fired over 100 employees in the organization. Here, take this 10 mil too and add it to whatever y'all want to do with it.
Gino, I'm close to just letting this be the Cubs episode because I remember when that season when it was just like kind of like assumed that Joe Madden, this was gonna be his last season. I had it was one of the moments when I realized that I was a Cubs fan because it just didn't make any sense to me, Gene. I knew, that it was just, it's a game of baseball. All things come to an end. All things must conclude.
Yep.
But I felt like if you were going to say bye to Joe Madden, then you were saying bye to like
that
the person that made it all work. You know what I mean?
And I think that might be the bottom line in all of this.
Yeah.
Like Theo and Jed and the Ricketts changed the culture by one the way that they were supposed to change the culture. But when you look at baseball, the team, the performance,
the guys
that
on the field
that win the games.
Yes, man.
I think Joe Madden does, and Joe gets his just due, but I don't think he gets enough credit for what. If you ask them guys.
Oh, yeah. You ask them guys, they know what it is. And I always think it's funny because they'll let you know they still talk to Joe.
Period. You heard Chris Bryant I talked to Joe a couple weeks ago.
How could you not? You know what I mean? And Gene, it just went, from a fan perspective, it went by too fast, man. I cannot believe that Joe Madden is like 2 years into a stint with another team. And now the Cubs are looking, faced with going back to what we've known them to be like my whole life. You know what I mean? And I feel like that's what Jed can't do. They cannot become the lovable losers again on his watch, bro.
Hey, Jed is definitely on the clock, bro.
Like
I saw a lot of people yesterday at his head. And I'm not going to go that far.
Yeah.
But yeah, now you got to show us something, bro. You're going to be trading these guys, people who are beloved in this city.
Yeah.
So what you going to get back in return? How quick are you going to rebuild your farm? Are y'all going to finally grow some pitching talent? Will you be able to compete? Because this is like a 2-year thing, 3 at the most. I need to see. I know Ed Howard probably isn't playing his best right now. I saw a few stats, but Nico Horner was drafted in 2017 and he was up last year. So if this is how y'all gonna go,
yeah, man.
Then Miguel Amaya, Braylon Marquez, Ed Howard. The draft is next week.
That's dark. Yeah, I mean, that's dark when you're talking about actually winning games at the major league level. Which, if that's the case, then it's going to be a lot of losing over the next few years. But, Gino, you want to take a break?
Yeah, we could take us a quick break, man. Like I said, we going to get out of here at 12:30. I got to bust a move so I can get to Wrigley and catch up on
Suns up 2-0. You want to dive into it?
Oh, yeah, we could talk some Suns when we get back. Ron Rilla doing all the work behind the boards, man. Take us to break, Ron.
Yes, sir.
You're on the soil with the bigs.
WIIFTBP. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
We all remember our life before COVID-19. The parades, the lakefront barbecues, taste of Chicago, the happy hours, and most importantly, loving those unforgettable moments with our friends and families. Getting Chicago vaccinated is what will make the activities we miss safe for everyone. So let's get back to it, Chicago. Let's come together to end this pandemic. Find your vaccine at chi.gov/COVIDvax.
Where you going? Where you going? Where you going? You gotta ask yourself. Yeah. I'm seeing ghosts in my dreams, in my past. Will it haunt me? Will it last? Will it taunt me? Will my path be no longer beneath me? Under my feet, misdirected as I stand. Cause I wanted what I had, and I had what I wanted. Is my faith being tested? As humble as I am, because I need to see it and touch it with my hands. Am I less of a man unless this lesson was confessions? I fess up like the brand. My plans never went how I planned, never panned out. Now my confidence is in the can. Coincidentally, my spirit is spinning, so spent, cause I spent up everything I had. Real as it gets, this is what it really is. As I stare at my twin, reality sinking in. Over the sink, pray for blessings from the Lord, cause the truth is the truest, especially when it's yours. There's nowhere to go, there's no place to run, there's nowhere to hide. Where you go, there's nowhere to go, there's no place to run, there's nowhere to hide. Where you go, there's nowhere to go, there's no place to run, there's nowhere to hide. Where you go, there's nowhere to go, there's nowhere to run, there's nowhere to hide. Who you hide from? Face to face, I face it like a Pinot. Head on, headstrong, I'm headed for where he go. And he knows where he goes, cause his soul was told that he knows that he goes through this evil. Become one, like a groove to a needle. Mastery of self, when I'm selfish as my ego. Can't see beyond a tunnel vision. The weight on my mind, a ton of vision. Its function is unforgiving. As I tumble, stumble, and struggle with it, I have no time to fumble, I'm running with it. As my pundits dismiss it, push me to the limit. What's the business? Is this what my punishment is? One smear on my record, it appears that I'm helpless. I feel that
We are back down on the soil. You know what it is. Get your sports fix from the illest independent sports media outlet in the land. You are rocking with the bigs. I'm T-Time with my brother Gino.
In the words of my brother ML, the great Mick Luda, who y'all heard Ron Rilla playing in the background, man. What's the Benoski?
Yes,
Hey, man, before we get into this NBA Finals talk, Phoenix Suns up 2-0 on the Milwaukee Bucks. On the Soil has turned into TMZ for about 3 minutes.
What's good?
Have you seen Drake trending on Twitter?
He went something with the game last night, or
no?
I haven't seen him. I've seen people talking about it, but I don't know why though. Because I see people saying Drake is crazy.
Okay. So before we get into this, I'm gonna let T catch up on.
Yes.
And I want to see his face when he sees this.
Oh man. Gene. Oh no, bro.
And like in the words of my boy Dame Dash, man, shout out to Dame. Like Killer Cam called him my nigga Thame. But in my Dame Dash voice, man.
My boy pulled out all the stops.
We ain't gonna be no chatty patties, man. But I had to talk about this. Are you looking at it, Ron?
Yeah, I'm looking at it now. My man is a boss.
So are you familiar? Do you know who Amari Bailey is, Ron? So Amari Bailey is a kid who plays with LeBron James' son. Well, LeBron James' son plays with Amari Bailey, obviously.
See, now it's getting even more funny to me because I know he was just at the game with LeBron.
Yeah. You see Drake at them games, you know what he was on.
Oh, dog.
So Amari Bailey is a kid from Chicago who moved out to California to take his basketball talents to a higher level.
He won a state championship at Morgan Park while he was here.
He was on. Did we cover him?
Remember, he hit the game winning shot.
I thought that was
freshman Amari Bailey.
Nah, that was our other little homie, man. That was on the basketball show, man. His mom was not Amari Bailey. What's his damn name? Namari. That was Namari.
Yeah, that was Namari.
Namari Burnett.
Yeah, Burnett. So yeah.
Yes. No, this is Amari Bailey.
Yeah,
who
Amari
did,
Bailey. 8th grade,
yeah,
with our boy Randy,
right,
and Brandon. They coached him,
right,
yeah.
So he actually went out to L.A. and he plays at Sierra Canyon, which is a school. D Wade's son was at Sierra Canyon, and LeBron James' son Bronny is at Sierra Canyon. But Amari Bailey just won Mr. California,
yeah.
So shout out to Amari for going out there and killing them studs. His game is
it's easy.
He's super nice.
Yes.
Yeah, he's super nice. But and again, I don't want to spend too much time on it. I just knew that T wasn't aware of what's going on. So Drake was spotted last night at Dodger Stadium.
And was it a game?
No, it wasn't no game.
Rented the whole thing out.
Come on, man.
Gee, I'm saying like this, that on the field.
Yeah, but what the Dodgers are on the road in Miami, man.
They have to be, because what in the hell helicopter footage?
Exactly.
Bruh.
So some helicopter just so happens to be flying over Dodger Stadium. And they catch Drake on down the third base line having an intimate dinner with Amari Bailey's mom.
A tableside dinner at Dodger Stadium, just them two.
So Sepia hit me with it this morning. So she like, you ain't seen it? It's trending all over Twitter. So I go on Twitter, flooded, right? So last thing I remember, and again, I ain't being chatty patty. This is all public information.
Yeah.
She was dating our boy Zoe McKinney.
Yes.
That was playing with from out west. That's playing with the Lakers.
Elevator pics, yeah. They was all on the gram, yeah.
So Coach Mo, shout out to Coach Mo, Corey Moses and Bula. We was on Twitter today, and Mo said that they were engaged.
What? Drake and
no, that Amari Bailey's mom and Zoe McKinney were engaged.
Wow. It's about to be a little bit of trouble. So, yeah, G. First of all, this is totally TMZ, but the fact that Drake was going to the games, to the high school games to pick. Oh my God,
Drake, you an evil dude, man.
How about this? How about we go to Dodger Stadium? We can have dinner down the first baseline, just us.
Drake is a demon, bro.
But then at the same time, to keep it playing, how could she say no? Go ahead, Drake. Go. Do your thing.
Shout out to Amari Bailey, man.
Oh man. And see, that's the worst with this whole basketball wives culture. Shout out to Shawnee O'Neal. You know what I mean? But man, what about their kids?
What about them?
They got to go to school and have a life too, G. And you just getting spotted with like basketball player, then rap superstar. I'll be like, Mom, like, what you on with me? But yeah,
Yeah.
Man, oh man.
Yeah, I figured you weren't up on that news.
That was very surprising, Gino, because I totally thought that he must have been at the Suns game.
No.
Because I seen people say Drake just going to games to pick up women. I'm like, was he at the Suns game last night?
No, he was at Bronny's Sierra Canyon game.
Oh, can you picture him walking to his seat around the crowd? And
So you didn't see it? You didn't see that when he walked?
No, this video of him.
No, it's not video, but there were pictures of him. Let me see if it's still up, because there was pictures of him at the game. This was like a few weeks ago, and how he was like, she was like standing up. You know how? Because his mom is into the game. She be yelling at the refs, and So she was like standing up, and Drake was kind of like right behind her, not trying to look, but it was obvious, like, because everybody else was looking.
Yeah, and we've seen her at a couple of tournaments. She's a very pretty lady.
Yeah. So the picture isn't here, but I'm pretty sure if you search it, you'll find it. But it was just.
I'm sure it's gonna be more on that over the coming weeks. That's the. Oh yeah.
I wish.
Oh yeah.
Let me see. No, we don't need to show it. We don't need to get flagged.
Yeah, we not get flagged again, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, Gino, that's I'm glad you showed me, because now I feel like I got another rabbit hole to go down. So we'll see where this goes. But Gino, what do we have anything for the Suns, Bucks, for the last few minutes?
Suns and Bucks, man. Suns up 2-0.
Because I want to play a video real quick for the word of the day.
Do I?
I can pull it up to you while we talk about it.
Okay.
But the Suns, bruh, up 2-0. And with a strength, is it safe to say they got a nice little hold on the series right now, the Bucks. Honestly, Gino, I feel like the story of this game yesterday is first of all, this is more of not being the same Bucks when Giannis was out. Everybody's just a stationary three-point shooter and watching Giannis do his thing. But if that's how they're going to play, what more can Giannis do than he did yesterday? Like 15 to 22, 40 points. You know, he was accurate. He was aggressive. He's still trash at the free throw line, but it's Giannis. I'm looking at the others, and I'm looking at Coach Bud like, Gene, how do you get Chris Middleton going? Because, and they said it during the game, we've seen what he can do. He's way too talented to not, give him the ball. You know what I mean? And I feel like they just weren't. It was Giannis or nothing last night. You know?
I feel like Drew Holiday was shooting up way too many pills
early and often.
Like, bro, come on, man.
Like, that was the adjustment. Drew, we need. Well, he took 9 shots in all the last game. We had 8 shots in the first quarter. I mean, I'm like, yeah, if that's the adjustment.
I mean, Phoenix did what they did what they had to do at home. They held it down. Took the first 2. Now it's on to Milwaukee, and Milwaukee got to find a way to do the same thing. But like you said, I mean, it's not too much more Giannis can do. Like, no one player has won an NBA Finals by himself. Michael Jordan, LeBron James, all of the greatest players who are NBA champions and the greatest of all time. No one wins NBA titles alone. So it's not too much more Giannis can do. Like you said, he was efficient. He was effective. He did take a couple threes. I mean, he made one, so, he was probably feeling good.
I still get confused.
Me too.
It's like, why, Giannis? You are you could have been 20 of, you could have scored more. It's like, go inside all the time. He can't stop you.
Well, you know how it goes. I mean, that's, you get a feel, and, it's hard when you're in the flow of the game. Like, you go with the flow of the game. It's only a few guys in the history of the game who were able to play at their pace, not be sped up, and just continue to do them and not let the defense affect what you do offensively. And I think, when Giannis sees one go in, I mean, he hit a couple fadeaways, so, I'm pretty sure he thought his shot was feeling good. And once he hit the 1-3, it's like, that's cool, but that's really not your game. So I know the Phoenix Suns were happy when they saw him pulling up off the break.
Had to be cheesing.
Yeah.
Okay? But then, to look at the Suns side of it, Gino, I continue to feel like this is a team that has been underestimated. And I'm starting to feel like the only team that would have beat them this year is a fully healthy Brooklyn Nets squad. I'm looking at the Suns like this,
You don't think a fully healthy Utah team could have beat Phoenix?
I think Chris Paul is just right now playing too good, and the way Devin Booker is has found or realized that he can do whatever he wants on the basketball court. You know what I mean? I just feel like the Suns are the best team in the Western Conference. I think they're the best coach team in the Western Conference, and I think they have the best leader in the Western Conference in Chris Paul. And I don't know if the Utah Jazz, even as good as they were in the regular season, I don't think that they were beating the Suns.
That's interesting.
You think so?
I mean, who knows?
That's always a tough game to play.
Yeah.
The what ifs.
But you can't play the what if game. You play what is.
Yeah, man.
And what is the Phoenix Suns are up 2-0 in the NBA
Suns,
Finals.
we saw Saric go down, and Troy, what was it, Troy Brown?
The shooter, Torrey Craig.
Torrey Craig. He went down. Yeah, I mean, so their depth has definitely been affected, Gino. I definitely don't think we can look at this team and say, oh, yeah, they're the most healthy. I'm like, look, this is a team that has lost a lot and almost lost Chris Paul. So I'm impressed by the Suns, Gino. I definitely think it's just a matter of time. They're going to be crowned champions. Although I wouldn't be surprised Or let me ask you, Gino, would you be surprised if the Bucks can tie this up? If this is 2-2?
No, this is the NBA. I fully expect the Milwaukee Bucks to tie this thing up. They should go home. They'll have the home court advantage. They'll have the crowd behind them. And I definitely expect the Phoenix Suns to go back to Phoenix tied up 2-up. And again, a lot of it, I think, is Mike Budenholzer. He has to be able to make the adjustment. I think they did a decent job last night. Obviously, Phoenix got away with the win. But at the end of the day, I do expect the Phoenix Suns to the series to come back 2-2 in Phoenix. Hey, Ron Rilla, before we get out of here, man, can you hook me up to the road real quick? In 2-2. Okay, there we go. Phoenix. Hey, Ron Rilla, before we get out of here, man, Ron Rilla, before we get out of here, man, can you hook me up to the road real quick? Boom. So, T, what you got for us today, man? What's
This is, I loved how, first of all, you know, the word of the day is, I love how you do that, Gino, but I saw some news yesterday. I felt like we had to dedicate our word of the day segment to it. Zalia. And then I'm sure by now everybody on social media knows that name. She is the first African-American girl to win the National Spelling Bee. And also, it's just a very talented girl, Gino. I got up and saw her hooping.
Man.
Oh, bruh.
I retweeted a few of her highlights. She was out there going bananas.
A fast break queen.
Bananas. Dimes, left hand, J, step back. At what, 13?
13. But at the same time, did you see her juggling?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and she's a Guinness, three-time
Guinness Book of World Record. Yep. She's a world record.
Is it Zalia Avant-Garde? And, man, bro, I totally felt like we had to dedicate this to her. The picture they got of the confetti coming down.
All day.
It's one of those all-time great pictures.
And of how charged she was after she nailed them words.
Oh, bruh.
Yeah.
You know she put the work in.
Yeah, it was only right for us to finish it off with the young black queen.
So go ahead and take a minute and let the people ingest Zalia.
Maria. Murraya.
That is correct.
And there is your champ. The holder of 3 Guinness World Records and now the 2021 Scripps National Spelling Bee winner, Zaila Avant-Garde.
Zaila Avant-Garde.
There we go.
The first black woman, young lady, to win the National Spelling Bee, and I think she's the first person from Louisiana to win the award as well. So I don't know what town she's from. I think they said it's the town right outside of New Orleans. But, you know, I got my Louisiana ties, man. So anytime I see some good things happening for the folks in Louisiana, I'm extremely proud. So shout out to her for knocking that out the box and putting these people on notice. But she said, man, the spelling bee, that's just how I get down. She's like, what I do is hooping.
Yes,
and after seeing them highlights, that's definitely what she does. So anybody that hasn't seen the highlights, go to my Twitter. Matter of fact, I'm going to post them in the comments real quick before we get out of here. Let me make sure. Can I find them? So yeah, I'm gonna post them in these comments real quick. But you guys, check her highlights out, man. She is awesome with the pill. Obviously, she's awesome. You know, she's an awesome student and probably an awesome little girl, but she's a dynamic hooper. So check these highlights out and, you know, continue to support black excellence, man.
We got to give it the love and the platform it deserves. So
yeah, we got out here, man. So Continue to support the What's in It for the Black People Media Network. Continue to support the Bigs. Continue to support all the shows.
Definitely do that.
Continue to support Ron Rilla.
Do it, y'all.
Hey, man. We going to get out of here. I'm on my way to Wrigley. Diamond Talk Live may be coming live to y'all today, depending on how I feel. But it's nothing like a beautiful baseball Friday afternoon at Wrigley Field against the longtime rival St. Louis Cardinals. So, with that being said, man, for myself,
would be great to get some straightening versus
it's time to get some straightening, man. They are tied for third place in the NL Central, 9 games back, both teams. So if they could get some straightening this weekend before heading into the break, then that's always good for your psyche. Go home, rest, take a few days off, come back with that energy, and get right back at it for the second half. So, for myself, for my player partner, T-Tom, for my boy Ron Rilla holding us down behind the boards, doing all the hard work. We are the Bigs, and y'all know how we do over here, man. We show love. We spread love. We stay away from the haters. We circulate the dollar with our people. But most importantly, man, we always, and y'all, just continue to keep it player, man. There's a lot of unplayer individuals running around out here, and y'all making, the population look bad. So keep it player. But, man, in the words of the late, great Chad Butler, known to most of y'all as Pimp C.
The Pimp.
Wait a minute, what happened? Am I still logged in there? Because we got to get this right. Is my audio up, or is that me? Hey, man. I don't hear nothing. Maybe I just got to say it myself.
in the spirit of the Pimp today.
In the spirit of the late, great Chad Butler. Okay, maybe we got it together.
Man, guess what, man? Get off the boo-boo.
It's us.
We out.
WIIFTBP. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me. WIIFTBP. Media's just for you and me.
Paul Mooney. Or did Pat? Yeah, Pat Mooney. Yeah, it was about he just jumped on.
Difference in return when